Let's face it, protection work is never simple. Crises are fraught with abusive behavior and violence. It can feel like trying to find your way through a thick fog. Not only does every context come with its own unique set of people, circumstances, and risks, but it can feel like the more we try to fix things, the more things keep changing. Relying too much on blueprints and static checklists can leave us feeling stuck and overwhelmed. Because the truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all solution for these types of situations. But there is a better way to navigate through the fog. Results-based protection is about problem-solving in contexts that are complex and unpredictable. It's an approach which aims for results which are a reduction in actual risks that people face. And when violence, coercion, or deliberate deprivation is reduced, we know that it is reduced because we can track and measure the changes that occur. This gives us clear milestones to assess whether we're making real progress towards the ultimate goal, ensuring people are safe in the midst of crisis. Let's take a closer look at how it works. The results-based approach starts with taking a step back from the situation, clearing the table, and asking the first fundamental question. Do we know what problem we're trying to solve? In other words, do we have a clear and detailed understanding of the specific threats facing people in this particular context and how these are likely to change over time? We need to understand who or what is responsible for the threats, who is vulnerable to them and why, avoiding any generalizations. And we need to have a clear picture of people's capacities to deal with these threats, to see where the opportunities as well as the gaps are. As far as possible, we should build this picture directly from the perspectives of people experiencing the risks. The next question we need to ask is, do we know where we're going and how we will solve the problem? As we build a clear picture of the risk patterns, we also need to take a good look at our methods, making sure that they are the most relevant, contextual, and effective for addressing the risks in real time for as long as possible. This may involve rethinking some of our assumptions and past ways of doing things. Results-based methods are ones that articulate a clear line of reasoning based on the specific context with clear milestones along the pathway to reduced risk, support protection analysis on a continuous basis in order to identify any changes in the risk factors and in the broader situation, allow for real-time adaptation in approach and activities, and incorporate regular reflection as a core component in problem solving. Finally, we need to recognize that it takes more than one actor to solve a problem. Achieving protection outcomes takes the combined effort of multiple actors from different backgrounds and expertise who all have a role to play in understanding, responding to, and minimizing risks. These roles may also be played at different levels, starting from the most local to international. Our line of reasoning to achieve protection outcomes needs to identify who should play a role, what role that should be, when they should play it, and how that role changes throughout the response. Everyone's contribution needs to be understood to collectively achieve the desired results. Results-based protection also depends on a working culture that recognizes and embraces complexity and unpredictability. Most importantly, it allows those closest to the crisis to play a decisive and creative role in problem solving, empowering them with the resources, time, and freedom to find solutions to critical problems. A results-based approach to protection does not involve predetermined responses, but rather provides a way to navigate complex, volatile, and unpredictable contexts in which people are at risk. By carefully breaking down each risk pattern, using the right methods to address the risks, and mobilizing relevant perspectives and resources, it allows us to continually adapt and focus our efforts to reduce the threats and vulnerabilities and enhance relative capacities. These add up to reduced risk. As we observe constructive changes in policy, practices, behaviors, and attitudes, we'll know we're on track to solving complex problems and making a real difference in lives and communities. Protection issues are complex, but addressing them doesn't have to be. With a slight shift in thinking and a dose of flexibility, we can be part of meaningful problem solving that achieves the kind of results that really count. Do you have ideas or examples to share? Join the conversation and find out more at protection.interaction.org.